So welcome to our transition to recovery class. We are going to do a little bit of sitting, then a bit of standing, and then we will come back to the mat. I just want to start by reminding you that it's really important at all times that you listen to your body, that I'm not in your body, and everybody here has got different energy levels. And one of the purposes of these transition to recovery classes is that you learn to listen in with compassion and attention. So you know when to stop, you know when to pace. And then this is the attitude that we take off the mat into our daily lives. And it's so easy to ignore our body's signals, to override them, or to want to fit in, or to do what other people are encouraging us to do. But if we want to recover without being neurotic about it, I'm not saying that we become obsessed with our symptoms, for example, but we do need to honour our energy levels and how we're feeling, and we need to know when to stop and rest. And a yoga class can be a very good place to experiment with that. So please, all time, listen in and move with compassion for yourself. So with that said, please come to a comfortable sitting position and close your eyes if you're okay with that. And just take a moment or two to come into the body, if you're able to. And I'd like you to think that you are like an explorer or a detective, and you're just examining how you are physically. But you're doing this with compassion, so there's no judgment, there's no labeling of this is good or this is bad. You're just looking in quite a detached manner. How's my energy? Am I relaxed or tense? Is there any sensation anywhere? And it can help with this exploration to start at the feet and then just bring this exploration up slowly to the crown of the head. And then see how the mind is and how the emotions are. And just observe if the mind and or the emotions are impacting the body or each other. I mean, we're not in yoga, we don't see ourselves as separate. We don't really separate mind, body, spirit even. But one layer impacts the other layer. So just see if, for example, if the mind's busy, is that creating any tension in the body? Again, just observe this without judgment. It's just, you are the explorer of your inner world. And then we're going to bring our focus to our breathing, because this is how we become centered and more at ease. So again, like an explorer, just start by examining how you are breathing without judgment. And it's quite normal for many of us to be hyperventilating in these times. And if that is the case, that's fine. But the yoga practice gives us space to come back to a more rhythmic, healthy, coherent way of breathing. So just observe how you were breathing. And as we start to observe, automatically our breath may begin to slow down. So if it's okay for you, nothing should be forced. Just allow the breath to be, think of the breath as being slow and regular and calm. Comfortably quiet. And if you can, breathe through the nose. And we'll start with a coherent breath. And as always, we're going to remind ourselves of our diaphragmatic breathing. So one hand to the chest, which may be where we're breathing from if we are anxious or hyperventilating. And then the other hand comes to just below the belly, or the neck, the belly button, I should say. I'll do this from standing if you need to look up, but it's quite nice to do it with your eyes closed. And then you're directing the breath into the hand that's on the belly. So the hand on the heart is pacifying the chest area. So we're thinking about breathing slow and low through the nose from the diaphragm. And to breathe with the coherent breath, see if you can make your inhalation and your exhalation of an even length. So you might like to count for that, maybe count 4 inhale, 4 exhale, or 3 inhale, 3 exhale. Or you might like to just use the rhythm without the counting. And then on the exhalation, just like to encourage you to slightly draw the abdomen towards the spine. So we're slightly toning up the abdominal muscles on that out breath, just waking up the core. If this feels too much and you don't want to do it, then please don't. Remember that these sessions are always about what we call agency, or you being sovereign. So you do what feels right for you, not what I'm saying or what anybody else is saying. I'm just guiding you. You are listening and taking the right decision, the compassionate decision for what's right for you. So if you want to explore bringing your navel in slightly on the exhale, do. If that's too much, then that's fine too. And then just let the mind become quiet by focusing on the pause after the exhalation, because this also helps to center us. Just enjoy that still point. And then drop the hands to your knees. And again, just explore, like an adventurer, how is my inner landscape now? Has the breathing slightly changed it? Might not have, you might not notice anything. Just observe if what we've done so far has had any impact or any subtle change. And then when you're ready, and if you would like, I invite you to come to standing. If you want to remain sitting down or even lying, that's also fine. Everything is optional. So as you may know from previous classes, I like to come to standing because I like to start by exploring our posture, because when we've been fatigued or not well or stressed, we tend to lose our posture. And yet we need it for the health of our spine, for the health of our breathing, for the health of our nervous system. So just start by bringing your feet together, making a V with your feet, and then stepping the heels out. And this brings the feet nicely aligned under the hips. And then think about your pelvis. So we're not going to worry too much about the legs at the moment, although I'll actually, just say, think of your feet being really solid, like their roots planted beneath you, keeping you stable. You might like to just sway from side to side, just feeling the stability in your feet, as if your feet are spreading and widening. And then just go forward and back a little bit. And then come back to center. And then we're going to think about our pelvis and our lower back, because again, this is very important for our posture, but often gets out of alignment. So what I find helpful is to say, take one hand to the pelvis and the other hand, the back of the hand on the base of the spine, and just tilt the pelvis up and down until you feel the point where there is minimum tension on the lower spine. And I'm just going to demonstrate, I'm going to exaggerate this. For many of us, we have our pelvis too far forward. And that might be for many reasons. For women, it might be wearing heels or having had children, carrying heavy loads. But it brings great tension here. So we just want to educate the body to come back to a more neutral position. Likewise, we don't want to be sticking our bottoms out all the way. So the pelvis is in neutral and we're evenly balanced over our feet. And then release your hands. And then think about your lower rib cage and think about this being open. Because when we are ill and fatigued, we tend to scrunch over. So think about opening the lower rib cage. And then think about lifting the heart. We're going to do a little movement just to help with this opening of the heart. So bring the hands in front of you as if you were holding a tray, cups of tea on your hands, and keep the elbows into the body. And keeping the elbows where they are, we're just going to open the arms out to the side and then bring them back together. I'm just opening up the front of the body, opening the heart, and then bring them back. And as you do this, you might like to engage with your shoulder. Sorry, my brain's gone. I can't think of the words. Your shoulders. So bring the shoulders together as you open and close. Just do that a couple of times. Sorry, I'm just letting somebody in. And then release the arms back beside the body, but think about the heart being open. So again, I'm going to demonstrate and exaggerate how, if we're using devices a lot, if we're sitting a lot, if we've been ill, we tend to close up around the heart and the shoulders slump forward and the heart becomes closed. I am exaggerating, but what we want to do is to kind of lift and open without tension, because this encourages more freedom and movement and space in the body, so everything can start to move and work again. And then think about the position of your arms. So if we have the shoulders folded forward, then again, we might have the arms in front of the body. We're encouraging the shoulders forward. So bring the arms so that the middle finger is in line with the trouser seam, or if you haven't got a trouser seam, where it would be if it was. And then think about the position of your head. So lift the chin up slightly and then draw the chin into the top of the chest, lengthening the back of the neck. And this helps that kind of stuck head forward. Again, I'm exaggerating, but like all of us, I do this because I use, I'm looking at my phone, you see people like this. And we want to, the head is really heavy, so we want it nicely balanced over the atlas joint in the neck. We just want to lengthen the back of the neck and tuck the chin in, just to get the correct head position. And then we're just going to roll the shoulders a few times. You can take your fingertips to your shoulders if you find that easier. And you carry on doing that. I'm just going to look at the screen because I think somebody's put a message there for me. So don't look at the screen, just carry on rolling your shoulders. No problem, Jules. It's not a problem at all. And then relaxing your shoulders. And then just close your eyes and feel how your posture feels. So I've kind of talked you through what's a relaxed but alert posture to have. In Sanskrit, that's stiram sukham, which means alert but sweet, a different translation. But it means that in yoga, we want to have this alertness, but it's not tension. So I'd like you to close your eyes and feel how this feels to you somatically, so you can learn how it feels, when the heart's open, when the pelvis is in the right place, where you're evenly balanced over your feet. Just again, like an explorer, observe how this feels. And then again, we're going to explore our breath. Now imagine you've got a giant taproot going down through your feet, down, down through your floor, into the earth beneath you. And this is bringing nourishment up from the earth as you breathe in. So inhale this nourishment up through your feet, up. You might want to bring it all the way to your heart, your head, or your heart, just wherever you feel you need that nourishment on the inhale. And then exhale, let it down. Let the earth take away anything you don't want on that out breath as you breathe out through your feet. So just breathing slowly, rhythmically through the nose, through the feet. And then coming back to normal breathing, going to begin to wake up the body a little more. Very gentle movement. Remember to pace. Remember to rest if you need to. So we're just going to gently sway from side to side, letting our hands gently bounce on our hips. And you can make this as slow or as fast as you like. So just explore what movement feels nice for you. And then slowly, slowly come back to center. And then we're going to do a breathing movement. Now, when I was taught this about 30 years ago, it was called the wood chopper, but I'm sure it has a Sanskrit name. But it's basically, actually, it will be helpful if you look at your device for this. So I'm going to have my feet slightly apart, a bit more apart than hip distance. I'm going to inhale and lift up my arms. And then I'm going to breathe out through the mouth and swing my arms through my legs. And I'm going to bend my knees as I do so. So just watch before you do it. And if you've got any injuries or back problems, be careful and be compassionate to yourself. So we inhale, and we exhale and we swing. Inhale up, exhale and swing. So I'm going to let you do that 3 to 5 times, or the number of times it feels right for you. And really feel you're pushing out stale air on that exhalation. When you've finished, come back to your standing posture. So when we stand as we should, in the Iyengar tradition, they call it Tadasana. In the tradition I come from, they call it Samastiti, meaning balance. But I also like to think of it as standing Shavasana. So it's like we're standing, but we're relaxed. So just take time to let everything settle from the movement we've done. And again, be the explorer. How am I feeling now? Feel the tingling in your hands. Check, have your shoulders moved forward? Are they still shoulder blades? That was the word I was looking for earlier. Shoulder blades together but down and relaxed. And now we're going to do a little bit of chanting and movement together. Now, I'm going to suggest that you use the Om breath, but if you don't want to chant Om, you can just hum. And if you don't want to hum, you can just breathe. But do remember that sound and humming is really beneficial for many, many faculties in the body. So all we're going to do, and you just join in when you're ready, we're going to inhale our arms up, keep the shoulders relaxed, no tension, chant the arms back. Om. Your own breathing rhythm, your own pitch. I'll do that once more with you. Inhale up. Slowly. Om. Try that 3 to 5 times in your own breathing rhythm. If that's too many, rest out. Your own pitch. Make this your last, and then just let the hands rest at the side. Look down at your feet just to check they're still straight. Feel that connection of the feet with the floor. And we're going to do that movement again, but this time I'm going to take the arms out to the side, over the head. You can't see me because I think I've moved out of view, but hands up above in the Namaste Mudra, and then out to the side. Om. Again, think of drawing the shoulder blades together. Inhale up, hands to Namaste, turn the palms inside out. Om. So the palms are facing upwards as they come together, and then they back to the hands. You face the palms towards the floor as you come down. So try that again 3 to 5 times in your own breathing rhythm, and then rest out back into standing Shavasana. So as you come to relax, again, think about being this explorer. Am I okay? How's my energy? Do I actually need to lie down? Do I need to stop? Or am I okay to do a bit more? Can I do that kindly, not override my body's signals, but listen with kindness? And we're going to do one more posture from standing before we come down. So as always, I like to put in a balance because I think it's so important as we begin to recover. It has so many benefits on the body. So we're going to do our tree, but it will be slightly different. So as always, if you've got somewhere that you can hold on to, like a wall or a chair or a table, please come to support, because it's really helpful to have something to hold on to if you need it. I'm going to use the door this time. And remember that to come close enough to your support. So if you feel that you're falling, you're not kind of leaning into it too much. And from your support, just come back to Samastiti, this equalizing posture that we started with. Now, last week I taught this without giving a left or right because I felt we were all maybe facing different ways. But actually, I think from a teaching point of view, it's helpful if we all balance on the same leg, and then I can give you the right instruction. So I'm going to suggest that we start with our right leg as the supporting leg. So just start by bringing your weight and your balance to your right leg. And you might like to just experiment by lifting that left foot off the floor and taking the hand away and then bringing it back. Do this a couple of times. And as always, the secret to balance is to find a spot in front of you on the wall or the floor, something that's not moving, something that you can fix your gaze on. And then if you want to do the next step and you feel that you are balancing okay, we're going to start this morning by lifting the left foot onto the inner calf of the right leg. And then bring the hands together at the heart, focus on your spot. You might feel the leg wobbling, that's fine. And then come out. And we're going to go deeper into the posture now. Again, we are like an explorer, so stop at any time you need to. But if you would like to, lift that left foot, and you're going to bring the sole of the foot onto the right inner thigh, providing you haven't got slippery trousers, which is always a problem. I always think somebody should design a pair of yoga trousers with like sticky bits there so that we can do a nice Vrikshasana tree. So when your leg, you're going to think about the hip coming out to the side, lifting up, but you're still keeping your posture, you're not collapsing. If you look at the screen, you'll see I'm still holding on to my support because I'm thinking about getting all the elements of the posture ready. And then from this position, oh, by the way, remember to not press your sole of your foot on your knee because that is not good for the knee. If you're feeling stable, you can experiment with bringing the hands together. And if you're still feeling stable, the full posture is to lift the hands up. And we're going to do a variation today, an optional variation. We're going to take the hands apart, which I actually find easier. We're going to wave our fingers around as if they are the leaves in a tree. And if you want to do even more, you can bring the arms down and up. My foot is slipping. Up and down, as if there's a really strong wind, the branches of your tree are moving up and down. But remember, your support is there anytime you need it. Just take your hand back to your support. And then when you're ready, you come out with the same slowness and grace that you came into the posture rather than falling out of it, if you can. And then come back to Samastiti, equalizing posture, and close your eyes and just again explore. Does my standing leg feel different from the leg that was doing the movement with the hip? How am I feeling? Can I explore without judgment? Maybe I was falling over. Can I accept that and not judge that? And remember, you might find it easier on one side than the other. And when we come to the other side, we're going to hold around the same length of time on the other side. So when you are ready, I'm going to turn around for this because this time my left leg's going to be my supporting leg. So come to Samastiti, just look down at your feet, check they're straight. Have your hand on your support. And then this time you're going to lift the right foot onto the inside of the left calf. And just bring the hands together. And then come back to the floor with the right foot and the hand on your support. And then if you want to go one stage further, you're going to lift that right foot sole onto the inner left thigh, hoping it doesn't slip. And then hands come together, keep focusing on something stable. I'm looking at a mark on the wall. I'm more wobbly on this side than I was on the other side. And then if you're feeling you would like to, you can lift the hands from the Namaste Mudra up above the head. You might like to wave the fingers around. My foot's slipping, so I'm just going to keep the leg lifted. And then you can bring the arms up and down like we did on the other side, or not. You can leave the arms where they are. So I'm just giving you variations. And then when you're ready, you're going to come out of the posture and come back to Samastiti. Just check in. How am I after all that movement? And now, before we do our next set of sequences, we're going to come down to the mat to rest in Shavasana for a couple of minutes, just to reset and recalibrate. So please come down to the floor or whatever it is you like to lie or sit on, so that you can just rest for a moment or two. And when you lie, you can lie on your back if you're comfortable with that. So that would be the classic Shavasana. You might have something under your head, just help the back of the neck to lengthen. You might have the knees bent, especially if you've got any back issues, or because we've been moving, your back's probably warmed up, so you can start with the legs straight. So if the legs are straight, classically you have them wide apart, heels going out to the corners of your mat. This helps the lower back to relax. And then have the arms away from the body, palms turned up, space under the armpit. And just rest and focus on your exhalation. Oh, Grace. Hello, Grace. Grace has just written that her cat attacked her mid-pose. I hope she attacked you in a loving way, Grace. Grace loves her cats. Are you okay? We'll be doing a cat posture in a minute, Grace, so maybe your cat can join in with that. It's really funny, actually, how animals love yoga and they want to join in. It's a big thing. I think they feel our energy and our vibration is different as we start to practice. So just feel on every exhalation that you are relaxing more and really let go into that out breath. And then when you're ready, we're going to do a little bit more movement, a bit more exploration. So we're going to do a bridge posture. So if you've anything under your head, just remove it for this particular asana. And I'll do this with you so that you can look at the screen if you need to, but hopefully the way I explain it will be enough for you. I'm just trying to get my mat into the view. I need to come back more, that's better. Okay. So lie on your back with your knees bent, feet hip width apart, heels coming in towards the buttocks, and palms are down. We're actually going to do a moving bridge this morning. Just look up at your belly button to check that you're straight. And also that your heels are in line with your buttocks. They're not too far apart or too far together. And then think about lengthening the back of the neck. So you're going to tuck the chin in as much as you can into the sternum, the top of the chest. And then we're going to take an in-breath. We're going to press on the feet, lift our heels and lift our arms up behind us. We're going to hold for 2 breaths, lifting the belly towards the ceiling, keeping the knees stable. And then we're going to chant Om as we come back, or you can hum. We're going to lift the arms first. Om. Now, if you're not sure, I'm going to demonstrate that again. So if you want to look at your screen before you do this movement, please do so. So I'm going to press on my feet, inhale up, arms come behind me, back of the neck is long, knees are stable. And then on the out breath, I lift my arms first, and then I chant Om. the base of the spine and the palms come down together. So try that if you would like, with the caveat that you're listening to your body, you're not overdoing things, and you might like to try that, I would say 3 times, but as I said at the beginning of the class, I'm not in your body. It's really important you listen to what feels right for you. When you've finished, now the bridge is a gentle back bend. So we need to counterpose the back bend with a forward bend. We're going to draw the knees into the chest and just rock out the spine from side to side. And if you don't have neck or shoulder problems, you can lift the head to just look up between the knees. But many of us do have neck and shoulder problems, so only do that if you feel okay. And then drop the feet to the mat, hip width apart, take the arms out like a cross. And we just do some gentle twisting movements with the breath, if you're able to do this with the breath. So we're going to go to the right first, just to say that the arms should be slightly below the shoulders. If you've got the arms up too high, you're actually introducing tension into the body. So have the arms slightly below the shoulder level. I don't mind if the hands are down or up, but I think if it's up, it feels more relaxed. Take an in-breath, and on your next out breath, take the knees down towards the right. They might not want to go all the way down, that's fine. Just go to wherever is comfortable. Inhale the knees up. Exhale them to the left. Inhale and center. And this time we're going to involve the head. So on your next out breath, the knees come over to the right and you roll the head to look over the left shoulder. Inhale in your own breathing rhythm to center the head and the knees. Exhale, knees to left, head to right. Inhale and center, and take that twice more to each side, breathing slowly. So don't rush anything. Your posture and your movement wants to mirror the breath, and we want the breath to be slow and smooth. So it's almost like a moving meditation. And when you've finished, again, hug the knees into the chest to counterpose and rock out the spine from side to side. This just neutralizes the spine after we've been twisting. And what we're doing in these transition to recovery classes, we're waking up the spine, and we're just introducing some gentle mobility and movement into everything. But please rest out if you need to. So actually come back to Shavasana now. It's always good to take a pause between any movement, reminding us to pace, to stop, to recalibrate before we do the next thing, just as we should when we're not in yoga, but we're in our general life. Whereas our society tries to push us to do one thing, then the next, and then the next, and as if everything has to be done in a hurry. So we're rushing forward into the future. But here, we want to stop. Be still. Again, you are the explorer. In this present moment, are you indeed present? Are you in your body? How's your body? How's your mind? Your emotions? How's the breath? The breath always gives us a clue to how we are. And then we're going to do a little bit more movement from cat and then optional dog before we come to resting. So again, before I ask you to move, just check in. Am I okay, or have I done enough today? You don't need to compete with anybody in this session, and certainly not yourself. So if you feel you've done enough, you can rest out. But if you would like to do a little bit more movement, roll to one side, stay there for a moment or two, and then come up into a cat posture. So this will be hands under shoulders, knees under hips, fingers spread, looking down at the mat to align the neck. And then just experiment taking your weight over your hands and then over your knees. Over your hands, over your knees. And actually, it's better to have a bit more weight on your hips because otherwise it might feel too strong on your wrists. Spread your fingers, middle finger facing forward, length between the crown of the neck and the tailbone. We're just going to do some gentle movements. So we're going to inhale, lift the heart, but don't take the head too far back. Exhale, navel to spine, as we did earlier, as we round the back and we drop the head. Inhale, lift the heart, open up the front of the body. Exhale, as we close down the front of the body and arch the spine, navel to spine. So just a few movements like that, feeling a wave-like movement in the spine. And then coming back to a neutral cat, we're going to chant our bottom towards our heels if you would like. If you feel you'd rather rest, then please rest in child's pose or whatever is comfortable for you. So we're going to inhale, lift the heart slightly, and then we're going to chant Om as we exhale. Om, bottom coming towards the heels. And then inhale to come back up, lifting the heart, moving back to cat, but lift the heart a little. And then chant back, Om. And just do that 2 or 3 times more in your own breathing rhythm and your own pitch. And then rest down in any way that's comfortable for you. If you're okay to rest in pose of a child, take your forehead to the mat, sitting back on your heels, or you can use 2 fists under your forehead. And you might like to place cushions between your bottom and your heels. And just rest. This is technically a forward bend.
So if you have eye problems or high blood pressure, if it's not controlled by blood pressure tablets, then this is not an ideal posture to do. But it's also considered a relaxation posture. So just focus on breathing into the back and letting go on that exhalation. And then the option is now to lie back in Shavasana. If you feel that's the most compassionate thing, the best thing for your healing, please do that. Otherwise, if you would like to do a down dog, come back to cat. Just checking on the screen how many of you, I think most of you like to rest. So let's leave cat, we'll leave down dog out of it today. So that's absolutely fine. So please come down now to lying. And think about making yourself warm and cozy. So this means we've got maybe 10 minutes or so. So think about using blankets or cushions to keep warm, whatever you need to be comfortable. I hadn't actually prepared a longer relaxation, but I found a nice one because we've got 10 minutes, which you'll probably all be grateful for because everybody likes relaxation. So I'm going to use something from the iRest program by Richard Miller because I think his work that he does is absolutely brilliant. So just start by feeling completely supported by the surface on which you're resting and open your senses. Just scan your body and release any unnecessary tension. Welcome any sounds, sensations, and a feeling of being at ease in the body. Feel yourself as grounded on your support. And now begin sensing your body with the understanding that whatever you experience is perfect just as it is. Be aware of sensations in your jaw, mouth, and tongue. Give up thinking and just welcome sensation in the jaw and the mouth just as they are. Sense your left ear, right ear. Welcoming both ears simultaneously as sensation. Sense your cheeks, nose, nostrils. The flow of sensation inside both nostrils. Sense left eye, right eye, the feeling of both eyes simultaneously as radiant sensation. Don't analyze or think, just feel. Sense your forehead, cool and at ease. Scalp, back of the head, neck, inside the throat, at rest, at ease. Sense left shoulder, shoulder blade, left upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hands and fingers. The entire left arm heavy, relaxed, at ease. Sense the right shoulder and shoulder blade, right upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand and fingers. The entire right arm heavy, relaxed, at ease. Give up thinking and welcome both arms and hands simultaneously as radiant sensation. Bring attention into the upper chest, middle chest, abdomen, upper back, middle back, lower back, the entire torso, front and back as radiant sensation. Let go of thinking. Just feel your way, your entire torso heavy and relaxed, warm and at ease. Sense your pelvis, left buttock and hip, left thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot, toes. The entire left leg heavy, relaxed, at ease, aware and attentive, relaxed and at ease. Sense your right buttock and hip, thigh, knee, calf, ankle, foot, toes. The entire right leg heavy, relaxed, at ease. Welcome both hips, legs and feet simultaneously as radiant sensation. Both legs heavy, relaxed, and at ease. Sense the entire front of the body, back of the body, left side of the body, right side of the body. Sensation inside the body, sensation on the surface of the body, the entire body relaxed and at ease as radiant sensation. Feel yourself as an observer, as the spacious openness of awareness in which all of these sensations are coming and going. Sense your breathing, slow, steady, regular, your entire body and mind relaxed. Feel sensations of well-being, peace, relaxation, spreading throughout your entire body with every exhalation. Sensations of warmth, ease, well-being radiating throughout your body, face, torso, arms and hands, legs and feet. Sense well-being, peace, deep relaxation throughout your entire body. The body, a field of radiant sensation. Allow your ears to open to the sounds of your body breathing, to the natural sounds that your body is making during exhalation and inhalation. Give your undivided attention to feeling your body as a field of sensation while hearing the natural sounds of your body. Your body lets go into deep relaxation and well-being. Coming back slowly to body consciousness. Just gently open and close your eyes several times. Reorientate yourself to your surroundings while sensing deep relaxation, ease, and well-being throughout the body. Affirm to yourself that as you go about your life, walking, talking, eating, even sleeping, sensations of deep relaxation and well-being are there whenever you want to focus on them. When you're ready, come fully back to your eyes open state of waking consciousness by maybe stretching and moving a little, rolling to one side, staying there for a moment or two before you come up to a comfortable sitting position.